It took the Ravens one quarter to find their offensive groove against Cowboys. Lamar Jackson put the team on his back while the ground game got going on their first drive. The Baltimore Ravens came into Week 3 against the Dallas Cowboys needing a win. Even though Baltimore is 0-2, they've shown signs of being an elite team. They've gotten a lot of flack for not utilizing the run game in their losses, calling into question the coaching acumen. On Sunday afternoon against the Cowboys, the noise changed. The narrative surrounding the Ravens suddenly shifted from pessimism to sheer optimism as the purple and black came out running on all cylinders. Lamar Jackson reminds Dallas, rest of NFL, how great the Ravens' offense can be. On the Ravens' first drive of the game, Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson and company did exactly what they needed to do. They ran the ball all over Dallas and put up a touchdown in their opening drive. The drive took all of 5 plays, clocking in at 2 minutes and 27 seconds, culminating in an easy Lamar Jackson 9-yard touchdown run. The Ravens' offense not only ran the ball with Jackson incredibly well, but several others contributed to the success of their opening drive. Recently extended running back Justice Hill hit the hole for a 17-yard gain. Derrick Henry also added a couple of carries for some tough rushing yards. The offense really hit its stride on a 30-yard pass from Jackson to tight end Charlie Kolar, who took the pass and led the Ravens down to the 9-yard line. From there, Jackson took it upon himself to punch in the first score of the game for the Ravens with a 9-yard run. In their second drive of the game, the Ravens got right back to business. Lamar Jackson linked up with veteran wide receiver Nelson Agholor on a 56-yard catch and run. Agholor broke a tackle from Cowboys cornerback Kalen Carson and took it all the way down to Dallas' 2-yard line. From there, the Ravens went back to the ground game and powered the football into the end zone to give the Ravens their second touchdown of the first quarter. So far, it's a wonderful start to the Ravens' offense as they look like they're really gelling. On the day, they've run 12 plays for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns in 6 minutes and 19 seconds. There is still so much time left in the game. It'll be interesting to see if they can continue to capitalize on a suspect Dallas Cowboys defense. Jerry Jones explains why Cowboys didn't sign Derrick Henry. The Dallas Cowboys and owner Jerry Jones saw firsthand what could have been during a tough Week 3 loss to the Baltimore Ravens. Among the many talking points from a 28-25 loss was the Cowboys' desperate need for help at running back, and the player many fans hoped owner Jerry Jones would pursue in 2024 free agency. Derrick Henry was a top name on the running back market this past offseason. He signed with the Ravens, and on Sunday, the Cowboys got a dose of the player they missed out on. Henry ran for 151 yards and 2 touchdowns on 25 carries, including an impressive 26-yard score to push Baltimore's lead to 28-6 in the third quarter. Following the game, Jones discussed Henry and explained why the Cowboys couldn't afford the running back in free agency, as The Athletic's John Machota detailed. "I don't know, why can't you buy a mansion when you live in a different kind of house?" Jones said. "We couldn't afford it. We couldn't make that all fit. That's as simple as that." While Jones and the Cowboys had numerous contract extensions to negotiate, including 2 agreed to in CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott, Henry's deal with the Ravens didn't break the bank. The longtime Tennessee Titan signed a 2-year, $16 million deal to join Lamar Jackson and company. In terms of annual salary, Henry checks in at number 9 in the NFL among running backs. The Cowboys opted to re-sign Ezekiel Elliott instead, inking the team's former first-round pick to a 1-year, $2 million deal worth up to $3 million with incentives. To make matters worse, while Henry ran all over the Cowboys, Dallas's run game was nearly non-existent. Rico Dowdle led the way with 8 carries for 32 yards, while Elliott had just 6 yards on 3 attempts. This comes 1 week after a similar result from the rushing attack in the Cowboys' loss to the New Orleans Saints, as Dowdle had 7 carries for 30 yards, with Elliott totaling 16 yards on 6 attempts. It would have taken some work on the salary cap side for the Cowboys to make a deal with Henry work, but based on his impact thus far with the Ravens, it's hard to argue that the move wouldn't have been worth it. Why Bill Belichick makes even more sense for Cowboys after latest dud. Dallas is in trouble defensively. The Dallas Cowboys are just one NFC East team that entered this season in need of redemption after an embarrassing first-round exit last postseason. Dallas dished out plenty of money to stars CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott, keeping them as the faces of the core alongside top defender Micah Parsons on a still talented roster. The Cowboys looked dominant in Week 1 against the Cleveland Browns. That couldn't be farther from the truth over the last 2 weeks. The Cowboys watched the then red-hot offense of the New Orleans Saints drop 41 points in front of the Dallas crowd in Week 2. The Saints racked up over 430 yards of offense, while Alvin Kamara rushed for 115 yards and a trio of touchdowns. A week later, the Baltimore Ravens imposed their will offensively and did so, like New Orleans did, on the ground against the Cowboys. Baltimore tallied 472 yards of offense with 274 of those coming in the run game. The Ravens saw the best out of their top offseason signing as Derrick Henry shot past 100 yards and scored 2 touchdowns. In the closing minutes, cornerback Trayvon Diggs slammed his helmet on the turf while Parsons lit into his fellow defenders on the sidelines during the 28-25 loss to Baltimore. That's 69 points and over 900 yards of offense allowed over the last 2 weeks in a pair of home losses for the Cowboys. Head coach Mike McCarthy could eventually be on a short leash at the will of owner Jerry Jones. Should the Cowboys decide to make a move, there's a more than qualified legend on the market. Bill Belichick appears ready to return to coaching when an opportunity opens after 24 seasons with the New England Patriots that delivered 6 championships. Links between Belichick and Dallas swirled during the offseason, and clear lacks in defensive production could amplify those rumblings once again. Belichick is arguably the best defensive mind to ever operate in NFL history and could certainly be the answer to internally improve that unit for Dallas. The Cowboys absolutely have the talent to control the game on defense. They may just need a fresh voice that's gotten the best out of that side of the ball. Jones has made his fondness for Belichick no secret. He said the two have been friends and says there's no doubt the two can work together. That remains a question, however, since Jones loves to have full control of his team, as does Belichick. Having said that, Jones isn't getting any younger. As much as he loves the glory, he also knows how quickly a Super Bowl window can close. That's why Belichick might be able to snatch some of the control from Jones, similar to what Bill Parcells did back in 2003. We can argue whether or not Belichick, who will be 73 before the next season kicks off, is the right coach. What's hard to argue is that his leverage with Dallas has never been greater. The Cowboys look to avoid a 3-game losing streak in Week 4 on a short week when they visit the New York Giants for Thursday Night Football.